Hi. Skip 30 seconds if you don't want to listen to the bullshit. Dude, that should be the intro. Patreon.com/Panda Media. Go check us out there. Also, YouTube.com/James Black Panda. Check us out there on Friday for EVs. Yeah.
Even though it hasn't been Friday in a long
No,
time.
I got all the fucking. This one is gonna be a special episode. This is gonna be about Father's Day. I'm literally gonna post it tomorrow, right? Which means that I gotta post all the other ones today.
Okay, cool.
Happy Father's Day if you're listening. Also, happy Juneteenth if you're black. I said that at work to somebody. Like, she was like, "Oh my God, happy Father's Day," and then I go, "Oh my God, happy Juneteenth."
Oh my
And
God.
she was just like, "That was uncalled for," and I'm like, "Please don't report me to HR."
Yeah, it's crazy because you would think that would be like a good thing, but then it's
Yeah,
kind
it
of sounds
sounds fucked
racist
up,
in a
right?
way.
That's
Yeah,
why. That's why I said it, because I was like, "Let me just see what she thinks. Let me just see this reaction," you know, because it's like
that sounds
Happy
funny.
Juneteenth, you know, like the day that yeah. I said something to her as well. I was like, yeah, I'm bringing white back, right? And she's like, man, bringing it back like it never left. And I was like, damn, that was a good one. I was like, damn, that was good. That was good. So we're starting off this Father's Day episode with some racism, you know. Seems fitting. Jarrell, how are you?
I am fine. Another day today. Today officially, June 18th is actually 4 years I've been with my girlfriend.
Ooh.
So shout out to my girlfriend. Yeah. So
Ooh.
officially 4 years. Like I said, not married, but as a girlfriend. Hey, shout out to her. So I gotta put that out there.
There you go. Yeah.
But I've been feeling good, dude. Nothing crazy been happening this week. Still another tough week. Um, I was a little rowdy at work today, but not at work today, but this week. And yeah, I said some things that I needed to say,
Ooh.
and I'm glad I did it.
Good.
So I've been doing that a lot. So
Oh, just kind of
yeah,
stepping into
ain't
your
no
own,
what's up.
man. Like, hey, fuck this
Yeah,
bullshit. I ain't about it no more.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm still waiting to hear back, about what we talked about as far as like moving up, maybe. And I have been thinking about things differently when it comes to being at work. Having a mindset on trying to think more like the next level instead of where I'm at right now. Instead of just kind of going in and doing the work, I'm actually trying to show and display the characteristics of the right choice as far as the
Choice.
right choice as far as the next step. And there's been a few things where I was able to like kind of show like, hey, yeah, I actually genuinely give a fuck. Like
Yeah.
here's an example of that. Here's another example. Here's another example. Thinking about things differently. So just as vague as you kept what you said, I'm gonna keep mine just as vague. So, but things are going good. I've been putting in a lot of hours. Um, Monday was crazy, dude. I got off at like 12:40. I got out like almost midnight, or no, not almost midnight, almost 1 a.m. But then yesterday,
Yeah.
I clocked out at like fucking 8:40, and I was like, yes, it was a great Friday. Like, dude, the sun was still out. I was like, damn, hot damn. Got home. Me and Tatiana, we had some. I forgot what. Oh yeah, she made some like right what.
Why do you say it like? Because you said "suh" and you like pause like it sounded
Oh, it
funny,
sounded like
like
she
it was
sucked.
like
Oh, I didn't want to
innuendo.
say that. Uh, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. No, I was gonna say we had cigars, but
Okay.
yeah, I was gonna say cigars, but then I was like, wait, no, because I was like, and then I thought like, did we have drinks? So I was like, I was thinking about something else mid sentence, but we had some like I forgot what it was. It was like some pork and rice and stuff like that. So it was really good. Put the kids to bed. Lit up a cigar. We were sitting on the back porch just chilling, like with the lights off. So it's like we're just looking at the night sky and stuff like that with some stars. And it was really nice. It was really nice. Woke up this morning, cooked some eggs, bacon, things like that for the fam, and now I'm here on the show. So this week has been pretty fun. I've enjoyed it. Kind of funny,
Yeah.
but a lot of hard work the first half, but then it kind of really chilled out the second half. And yeah, I was able to do a couple things that I like. I was able to stream Sleeping Dogs. So as far as I did that last week. I think it was on Saturday. I might try to do like another little stream today, if I could. Um,
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. And so far, like I do like the game. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I was thinking about it as far as like Way, like the main character, but like damn Way, like made me think of some like Rush Hour shit. Like when I was thinking about it,
Yeah,
and but you can tell the game is kind of like dated. It's like it's old. Like if I played it when it came out, I'd probably be like, oh shit, this game's awesome. But playing it now, I'm kind of like
yeah,
you kind of feel like the datedness in the controls and like the AI, all that stuff. So and I haven't
yeah. It
even
was remastered, so
yeah. I haven't even really got to the gunplay or any like shooting or anything like that yet either.
it's there, but the game doesn't really focus on it.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. You know what I'm saying? They have it, but it's like, hey, y'all go watch this man play. That man was getting his ass handed to him,
Man,
but
shut up.
that mission is probably one of my favorite missions, dude. That you can't fail.
Which one?
Well, one of them, like the one where you just kept dying, like I think you was by the beach or something with that truck, and those people just kept coming at you
Oh
with
yeah,
knives and
yeah. I
stuff.
just kept getting my ass handed to me. Like, what the fuck?
That's like one of the chillest missions, and
I mean, like
it was just
like
cool.
one of the easiest ones. It's like, dude, this is level 0. Like, you're getting your ass handed to you. Wait till you get to level 1. That's just a tutorial level. Um, it kind of was, but like, dude, the part where I just walk out and a fucking scooter just kills me. I was like, man, fuck that, dude. Like I had a vendetta against every scooter driver that I saw, but I couldn't. I was trying to leave the motorcycle drivers alone, but I couldn't differentiate. So I was just murdering everybody.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, you're on 2 wheels, fuck you. But then I had that one scooter I liked. That was kind of cool. But no, it was. I thought it was
yeah,
funny, and I felt like commentary was good. And it was a fun game. I mean, there was a couple people that jumped in, got another follower on Twitch, so thank you. I can't remember what the fuck your name was. If you're listening,
yeah.
how crazy would that be if they just randomly find the podcast and like, what? Are you talking about me? That'd
Yeah.
be strange.
So yeah, that game is awesome. I can't wait till James plays it. And if y'all haven't played it, y'all go play it yourself. It came out on PS3 like way back in the day, probably like 2012 or
Yeah,
something. Uh, so they remastered it for the PS4, and then we're playing the PS4 version on the PS5.
yeah,
So you can tell how, like you said, how dated it is, but it's still a fun game.
yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Like I don't know how deep I'll go with it, but I mean, just being able to play it and experience it, stuff like that. And man, you can like the character designs where it's like over realized like stiff ass hard ass muscles and it's just like okay Batman Arkham Asylum like some of like the fucking and I always want to I almost want to say like cholo dudes but like I know they're not Mexican but like the fucking triad dudes with like the white shirts and their like muscles are like "You're hard as fuck because it's like just hyper characteristic like very just
Yeah,
strong character models and I'm like that's funny because they don't even look like real people. Because like just how like uh what is it? Damn, what is the word? It's like hyper realization. It's like over. I don't know what the fucking word is, but it's like damn. What is the fucking word?
what's crazy? Like I didn't realize that back then. Like you said, so it's like you can
Yeah,
tell like times have changed.
yeah. You look at a character model from this game and like the facial animations and like the way the muscles look, and then you compare it to something like The Last of Us Part Two, where it's very detailed facial expressions and it looks like real humans, real people, and I'm like, damn, we've come a long way. Like even like on
So
Uncharted
yeah,
and shit, you look at Uncharted 1 to Uncharted
yeah,
5, Uncharted 5, Uncharted 4. What
yeah.
the fuck?
So that one kind of looks like Uncharted One,
Yeah,
like graphically
yeah.
wise.
Like just
So
kind of stiff, kind of like oh yeah, okay. Like the shirt, like you're running, the shirt is just like
yeah.
don't even move.
But the game's awesome.
But no, yeah, I do like it. But again, like it's one of those like okay, I'm kind of feeling like the dated controls, the dated animation stuff like that. So it's like it's still good. Like I think the story's cool, but I don't know how far I'll go with it. But I'm glad I'm trying it.
You gotta, you gotta go all the way.
Nah,
I love platinum that
not
game.
gonna do
Shout
it.
out that game.
Not gonna do it. I already know that. But
I'm gonna try to platinum it twice.
oh, on PS3 and 4.
Yeah. But yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah. So yeah, guys. So yeah, y'all go check him out on Twitch. And by the way, he played that this weekend, this past weekend. I actually went on Sunday and I seen Jurassic World 2.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, no spoilers, but I felt like this had the potential to be the best Jurassic Park, but it wasn't. Only because this was probably the beginning was so drawn out for no reason, and they didn't need to do it. Like it was just like they were doing filler time for nothing. Like all the action scenes they had was great, but it was the slowest start to any movie I've ever seen in my life, ever. Like if y'all saw the trailer, y'all know who was in it, so this is not a spoiler. But until you see Jeff Goldblum, it was just fillers the whole time.
Hmm. And how far in do you see
But
Jeff Goldblum? Like 30 minutes?
I felt like it was like an hour, dude. And the movie is 2 hours and 7 minutes, but it felt like 3 hours and 7 minutes, and that's not good. Sometimes 3 hour movies like in game, you wanted more, but this one was 2 hours but felt like three because you're like, when the heck are they gonna, go ahead?
Hmm. Well,
Because you see like other Jurassic Park movies, okay, something happens, something stupid's in the intro. Okay, we need to go do something, and they go to like the island or wherever they need to go immediately. This time they take like hours to do what they need to do.
hmm.
So yeah, so yeah.
Hmm.
Like I don't mind character development, but it's like,
Like we know these characters.
yeah, we
We've
we,
seen
we
them in
already know
like
what's
two,
up.
three movies already.
Yeah, and everybody else, obviously, the new characters like that came in Jurassic World, like Chris Pratt and the other
Oh,
lady.
he's
I
in it?
think her name's Clara or some Chris
Yeah.
Pratt. Yeah, it's a Jurassic World movie.
Oh, okay. I do like, and they just brought the three originals back.
Well, I can't say everything, but yeah, they brought back people. Obviously, that whatever you saw in the trailer, they're in the movie. So yeah,
Guys, fucking the three people from the first movie are in it. Like the scientists, the two scientists, and fucking Jeff Goldblum. I forgot her name and I forgot his name. Sam something. Yeah,
Sam,
I think I don't know.
Dr. Grant, bruh.
Grant.
But yeah, yeah. So yeah, trust me, the movie I feel like would have been better if they just started right where Jeff Goldblum was. They could have skipped all the other stuff before that, in my opinion.
Okay. Interesting. Hot take right there. If you've seen the movie, tell us how you feel about it. If you agree with what Jarrell just said. If you disagree, fight us.
So I love Universal Studios,
Yeah.
guys, and Jurassic Park is great, but it's like y'all don't have to do all that extra stuff before. Like we can care about the characters without that long drawn out thing that y'all do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right, that's not bad. But okay, yeah. So again, fight us if you're man enough or woman enough to do it, or thing enough, it enough, they enough. If you're they enough to do it, fight us.
oh yeah, shout out to the bucket. I actually spent $20 on it. It was like a Jurassic World exclusive bucket from AMC. It's really cool.
Dude, I felt like
And it was funny, like the thing is huge. Like the popcorn, just think about it, large popcorn is like this big.
mm,
That bucket was this big and we like filled it up with popcorn. And they was almost done with it. I don't really eat popcorn like that,
God.
but it was huge.
Oh, your girl and little girl.
Yeah, yeah. And what's cool, I heard the Thor, when Thor comes out, I know I'm all over the place, but when Thor comes out, it's gonna be like Mjolnir, and like the bottom of Mjolnir is gonna be like a bucket. So that's gonna be sick.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Mjorn. Um,
Mjolnir.
fucking dude, I saw the trailer, and we're gonna get into the main topic, which we are gonna be harping in on dads, Father's Day, fathers, things like that, experiences, whatever. But we saw the new trailer for Love and Thunder, where it shows Valkyrie, it shows the bad guy, it shows Jane. Jane's back in this one, and if you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it.
Yeah.
But Tatiana was like, eh, because Tatiana doesn't like all this woke shit, like with Matrix Resurrection or whatever the fuck, where it's like, oh, now Trinity's the one. It's not Neo anymore. She's the one that can fly, and he's like, oh, I don't have powers. Like where it's like making it woke, where it's just like, oh, great, we got to fucking put
Yeah.
the woman and make her the fucking badass. All right, whatever. Um, and then Tatiana's thinking that's what they're doing with Jane, and like, what the fuck? And I go, no,
Uh,
I think at some point in
nah.
the
I feel
comics
like they
they fucking
could,
did that, but
but Yeah.
I like Thor and Valkyrie better as a couple. Maybe because it's interracial as well. But I like her character better than Jane's character. I'm not a big Natalie Portman fan.
Nate Portman looks
She
good. I
looks
feel
good,
like she
yeah.
looks great in this movie. She looks good as a mother. Like from that trailer,
Yeah, she looked
yeah.
good. I give you that,
And
yeah.
from the trailer, at first glance, and a lot of people thought the same thing. I was like, please don't make Jane end up with Valkyrie because remember how they were sitting on the throne together, and I'm like, bro, if they do that, it will just ruin everything.
Yeah.
Because I think they hinted like Valkyrie is like that anyway. She calls herself like with the king of Asgard, so I hope that's not like one of those type of things.
Well,
But
well
yeah,
here's
but I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, Jane is gonna take all his powers and Thor is gonna be irrelevant.
no, I don't
She's
think
gonna
that.
help. I think he's just gonna help her.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think, but it's
Yeah.
the fact that now she's not Asgardian. It's just like she's a regular bitch from Earth. It's just like
Oh my gosh,
like she's just a regular fucking chick.
he said it, not me.
She's just like a regular. No, I mean I don't mean like bitch as in woman. I mean bitch as in like weakling. Like just like a regular bitch ass from work or work from. It's a friend from work. She's
Oh
just a regular
God, we're gonna
chick,
get
a regular
canceled.
person from human being from Earth. Where you get the Asgardian powers from? You're not worthy. You're holding fucking the hammer. But there,
Yeah, I wonder how she gets worthy.
right? But there was the scene where the guy's like flick, right, and then blows all of Thor's clothes off, and he's naked. And Valkyrie, it's the part where they're in.
I think that was Zeus.
Yeah, it's where they're on the throne. Valkyrie and Jane are sitting there, and they're like, "Should we help him?" And they're like, "Ooh, no," like they're into looking at him. So it's just like
Yeah,
they cannot be and make up a lie that they're bi. It's like, dude, you got a manly man like Thor in front of you. You gonna
we'll
say
see.
you gonna lie and say you're bi? Okay, sure, sure. He be turning gay chicks straight.
Freaking Zeus just snatches Thor's clothes off.
You flick too
Maybe
hard.
Zeus is. Maybe he'll be the. Zeus is like, yeah, I want to see. He just takes off all his
Like,
clothes.
boo! You flick too hard. But man, like when it comes down to it, I think I'm interested in Thor: Love and Thunder because all the Thor movies. This will be I think as far as the standalone superhero movies, this is the first fourth.
Thor. Yeah,
Yeah, the first fourth movie in a standalone superhero. Because you had Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War. The Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. And then this would be the fourth Thor movie. Because you had Thor, then Dark World, and then Ragnarok, and then now Love and
yeah.
Thunder. Which, boom, I'm glad he's back in shape. And he's like fucking thicker than ever, man.
He's ripped.
Dude, he's super ripped. Stupid ripped, dude. Super swole, man.
And just like we talked about on the show all the time, I had that moment where I'm like, bro, I gotta go
Yeah, I
to the
gotta hit the
gym.
fucking
Like,
gym, dude. I started doing more pull-ups. Like, I actually like that because I look up like TikTok stuff on like working out or whatever, and it makes me like, oh yeah, let me do this. Like people give explanations like, oh, this is how you do a proper pull-up. You'll see that you'll like increase your pull-ups like by 2-3 times. Man, before I was doing like 5 pull-ups and getting like winded as a motherfucker. Dude, now I'm doing like 10, like whap, 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 just by doing a slightly different technique. Like not, like literally one day I did 5, the next day I did 10. Like it was nothing
yeah,
because of like the different technique. I was using the wrong muscles and didn't have my shoulders rotated back and shit like that. So I was like, oh damn. And again, I know 10 pull-ups is shit. So please spare me in the comments.
like,
Like I'm over here, like, all right, that's 1. Damn, I'm like spitting all over my fucking mic.
ASMR.
Father's Day. Happy
Yeah.
Father's Day to all the dads out there. Single moms, shut the fuck up. You're not a dad, so shut the fuck up.
No, he said that to me. Like I said, I appreciate the single
I
moms
mean,
out there,
I
by the way.
appreciate the
And
single moms, but you have Mother's Day, so that already passed. Sorry, and you have your birthday
I
week.
tell my auntie, Happy Father's Day. So shout out to my auntie. I really do. So, yeah. We're just, We're like in the middle on this
Yeah, I'm
episode,
very
guys.
like,
Jason
no,
going
you're
nuts,
not a
bro.
dad. You're not a dad. Sorry.
I understand completely.
I mean, I get it.
But
I get it.
hey, yeah,
But it's like, dude, okay, you're a single mom, right? That's fine. Happy Mother's Day. You're
yeah,
not a dad. It is not your day. Sorry. You're not both people. You're just a mom. You're not both people. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. But when we talking about Father's Day, again, all the dads that stepped up and when they had the kid, they stuck it out, stuck around, is doing the best they can, showing up, providing for their kids, trying to be impactful, trying to teach, things like that. Um, Big shout out to you. Kudos to you for all of the stepdads that came into a woman's life who already had kids and then again stepped up and is trying to be that father figure that the kid needs. Shout out to you as well, you know. And again, shout out. I will say this: shout out to the single moms out there that doesn't have um, the two parent household, but they're doing their fucking best and they're like really knocking it out of the park. Kudos to you too. Same with the single dads. If whatever happened with the mom, she left, she died, whatever. Um, Shout out to all the
yeah.
parents out there. All right. But if you are in a relationship and you're the woman, it is not your day. Shut up. But yeah, sure. Yeah. Single moms, happy. Oh my God. Jarrell jumped out. All right. Jarrell jumped out. He's going to jump back in. But yeah, single moms, shout out to you. Um, for just a little sliver, just because I got to be a little bit woke and say hi. But this is Dad's Day, all right? So, as far as you back, dude?
It just like wiped my whole screen. I don't know what the heck I did. Just,
Yeah.
but yeah,
No, well, no worries. But yeah, all I said was, hey, just to be a little inclusive. Shout out to the single moms out there that doesn't have a man in their life or a father. Like I'm sure there's father figures in your kid's life, whether it be their coach, their karate instructor, um, a stepdad, whatever. Like your dad, maybe he like their grandfather stepping up and showing him like your son or your daughter the love that a father would bring. Whatever.
yeah,
That's great. That's great. But shout out to all the people that are stepping up, stepping out, rather than stepping out.
yeah,
Because there's a lot of people that, I mean, on both sides, like men and women, that they have a kid, they think it's a joke, right? Which is
yeah.
crazy. But yeah, as far as Father's Day, what is the first thing you think of when you think of Father's Day? Do you think about yourself as a dad, or you think about your dad?
Nothing about my dad because I guess I only been like basically like a stepdad pretty much for the 4 years. But my dad, um, I'll say it like this: even though my mom and dad wasn't together, like obviously my whole childhood, I think they split up when I was 6. My dad was still in my life. You know what I'm saying? They didn't let like, oh my gosh, my mom and dad never had a terrible relationship. They could communicate and stuff like that. So it was never like, oh no, you ain't gonna go to your dad, you gonna do this, nothing like that. So
Right.
I like usually I saw my dad on the weekends, because obviously I had school, I stayed with my mom and stuff like that. But just being around my dad, man, it was fun.
Yeah.
Back then, obviously, he has a club guy, so back then I never really understood it because I didn't realize he was working. So I was like, yo, dad, like, why we gotta go to the club all the time? You know what I'm saying? Let's hang out and stuff like that.
The
But
club.
he had to go to work. Yeah,
What
he
does your
worked.
dad do?
He owns a club. He used to be in the military. He used to be at Ford. So shout out to my dad. But obviously they closed down Ford. They moved it to like Kentucky or something, and now they
Mm-hmm.
have Porsche over there. That's what's over here now. And my dad retired from the military. So shout out to my dad. And my dad owns a club, and it's been there for 25 years. Oh no, 26 years now. You didn't
Dude,
know
I
that?
fucking never knew that.
Yeah, so shout out to my dad.
I
Yeah,
thought your dad was still, like, honestly, I thought he was still in the military.
dude, my dad's 65 or 66 years old.
Oh
Dude.
God, never mind then,
Yeah.
dude. By the way you talk about your dad, I thought he was like 40.
Nah, my dad, he still got it, man.
My,
Like he still goes to
yeah,
Jamaica. He's still hanging in there, dude. Like he
yeah.
tough.
That's awesome, dude. See, I
Yeah,
never like this is actually really insightful because I didn't know much about your dad at all.
yeah,
That is,
yeah.
I'm
He's
curious. You don't have
awesome.
to say it on air to keep like privacy, I guess, but I definitely want to know what club he owns. It's in Georgia, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
I guess it'll be like advertisement, but I don't think nobody be like start protesting and be like feminism or something
What
because
the
of you.
fuck? Yeah. I don't
Jay
think we're
said
that
not
big.
me, not me. But yeah,
What did I say? That was so ridiculous.
it's not
Because I said
ridiculous,
some
but
bitch from Earth.
but yeah, guys. It's in DeKalb County. I say it like that. Y'all already know. But yeah, my dad. When I think about my dad, I think about going to his house on weekends, that Saturday or that Friday night, playing Madden all night. Like I said, that's who introduced me to that. Back in the days, like 2002, and that was our thing. We would go to the club because I would go over there at night because obviously I had school that Friday. He would pick me up. We would go to the club because he had to do what he needed to do. I'd be in the back. Obviously, I wasn't some little kid out there in the freaking club. I'll be in the back.
Like, like smacking asses because you're like short as fuck.
And when I used to get home, we used to get some food like late at night, which is awesome. And then we just play Madden all night till I fall asleep. Like I remember my dad
Hmm.
used to joke with me like, because I was so tired, and he knew I was. I would be playing the game, and he would be kicking my butt. He was like, "Man, you need a timeout over there," and he would just keep kicking my butt. And that was like the classic line from my dad. And then I would just sleep. So eventually he'll turn the game off, and then we'll wake up,
Yeah.
and then we'll spend the day together or something like that. And then Sundays we will go to the Falcons games, and I miss
Yeah.
that. So it's like video games, that Madden is it's a part of me because of my dad. Dave and Buster's, even taking my girlfriend's daughter to Dave and Buster's for the first time ever, it was with me. So that was the first time she ever went. That was the first time my girlfriend ever went. And then even when her dad came down here, that was the first time he ever went. So it's
Yeah.
like that experience with my dad made me help share that experience with, like, I guess technically my daughter. So
Right.
that felt good. So, and plus going to the games, like I said, with my dad, though that's like probably my best memories with my dad because it's not at the club, it's not anywhere. It's just we hanging out, we chilling, we do something together, we watching like the game, high fiving
Yeah.
people, hugging. It's just that energy, that vibe of everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's like when you go to a concert and you're like everybody around you's feeling it, everybody's dancing, shit like that, or going to the club, everybody's like a little tipsy. It's like that energy, that collective energy.
yeah. So that's why I miss the Georgia Dome because like I said, I don't really have no good memories in the new stadium. That's why I tell people because my dad hasn't been going to a lot of the games. So that's why I love football. I love it, but I still miss my dad being there. So I would have to say like my dad has been a huge part of my life, even though he wasn't in the same household with me forever. But it was just fun being around him. I'll say it like that.
Yeah. Do you ever ask your parents about the split up, like what happened, things like that?
Yeah, sometimes it just stuff just happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm
Especially
not
that type
telling you
of.
to talk about it now. I'm just curious if you've talked to them
Oh
about it.
yeah, but I'm just saying, I would say this. Like I told you back then, I understand it, but obviously, a club is one of those businesses. It's hard to have a relationship because you got to be there all day, dude. And
Oh
obviously, if you
yeah.
go up there, you see girls. They try to throw themselves at you, and then you got to be like, back off. Stuff like that. I
Oh
completely
yeah,
get it.
because you're the owner of the club, so
Yeah.
it's like
So
clearly you got status as soon as you walk in.
think about it. You like there from however when it opens to like 3 o'clock in the freaking morning, dude. So and then you sleep, and then you wake up and do it all over again. So
Yeah. So I mean, he's just a workaholic.
yeah. He don't like to
Yeah.
say that, but I know he is, and I didn't like I said back then. I didn't
Yeah.
understand it, but obviously, what he did, he made sure I had a good childhood.
Yeah.
Because that's how I was able to go to Florida's all those years and stuff like that. That with the timeshare and everything. So I trust me. Back then, I hated it, dude. Like I freaking hated going up there. I ain't gonna lie. I hated it with a
What
passion. I hated going to the
to the
club.
club?
Yeah, I hated it. I hated it so much. That's probably why I don't go clubbing now. Unless
Oh.
it is what it is. But the times I really had a good time with my dad, like I remember all of it. Like there's not one thing bad thing I can say about my dad at all. Because I know he was in my life, he tried his best. he raised me to be the man I am today. So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Only son.
Only son, yeah,
Isn't it?
and three
Are you
daughters.
the eight daughters? You know, like that fucking Jack Harlow video. Eight daughters on a flat in Oxford Street. Eight
Oxford.
daughters. But like, no, man, that's fucking dope. Uh, like you said, I mean, even though, and this is something like not to change subjects or whatever, but it's like this is something that a lot of people with where they split up, they don't have that, you know, where it's like they're bad mouthing the other person, stuff like that. It's like seems like your parents were on good terms with each other to where they were able to give you the best life and not like, oh man, fuck him, he's a deadbeat, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's like he was working too much. He was not a deadbeat, and then he was there
Yeah,
in pivotal moments of your life and fucking was impactful. You know,
yeah,
because that's the point. That's the point of being a dad is to be impactful. You know, it's like
mhm,
it's not about it's not about quantity of time. It's about quality of short time.
exactly. And my
Yeah,
dad is great at that. And what's crazy, one of my favorite memories, I say one of this. It was Spider-Man 2. And think about it, my mom and dad was split up, but for me, they went together. This was back then, not Amazing Spider-Man, like the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
this is like
Yeah,
2004, right?
yeah, and
2003 or
back
something.
then, like this was like a big deal to me. I remember, like I'm feeling emotional, but my mom and my dad took me to the movie. Shout out to AMC. Still the same exact AMC I go to today, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Um, they was like, okay, let's go see Spider Man. I was so excited that I literally couldn't breathe in the theater, bro. They had to take me out of the theater because how much I was like, oh my gosh, it's Spider. Oh my gosh, my mom and my dad is together. Oh my god, like it was freaking me out, and I
dude.
couldn't
Like,
finish the movie, dude. And then I had to sit outside, and my dad watched the whole movie, and I had to sit outside with my mom. Yeah,
I like how he's like, I'm gonna get my money's worth.
yeah,
Man, fuck that kid. Like, dude, I think about that, right? Whenever like I'm going to do something with like Marie or Bella or something like that, and then if like dude, the moments where we're on our way to like my sister's house to hang out or something like that for the evening, and then we look back and Bella's in the back like looking like sick as fuck, and we're just like the have to turn around because your kid is like doing something. It just makes you like, ugh, as a fucking parent.
yeah,
You're like, damn, this kid, you know.
yeah,
But obviously, it's like they're sick, you care, so you go home and you take care of them, right? It's like, but every parent has had that moment where you're just like in the fucking
yeah,
theater watching Spider-Man 2, trying to do like a cool thing, right? And then like your kid is like hyperventilating,
yeah.
like, and then it's like you gotta fucking take him outside.
I
Like
love-
the fucking, I'm just looking at it from his, like your perspective. I totally get it, where it's like you're like this kid, you're like holy shit, like this fucking incredible moment.
yeah,
But then like to your dad, he's just like, God damn, I'm at least finishing the movie.
yeah. I
Like
see
I
half
gotta at
of
least
it.
finish the
I
movie.
see half of the
Yeah,
movie. It is.
dude. That means
I,
that means you and your mom were sitting out there for like an hour. You know, like at least like waiting on to finish the movie.
it is funny. Like I think that was when my sister and her husband now was like getting together. So I saw them like walk in the movie theater.
And they're like, "What are you doing out here?" You're like, and your mom has to be like, you know, he couldn't breathe, so we had to take him outside.
Yeah, back then for some reason, like the sound affected my breathing. Like it was crazy. I don't know what it was about. Like it was some weird stuff. So it was like even more like the sound was messing with my breathing. Then the all the emotion. So I was like, bro, I'm about to die, bro. Let me get the heck out of
That you're
here.
fucking heart palpitating. My palms are sweaty, and I ran out of breath.
Then I had asthma back then too, so it did not help.
Oh God,
So
it was like seven things at once, dude.
yeah, so it was it
Man, that
was it was crazy.
dude, that's a fucking funny ass memory, and that's such a dad move to just be like, "Fuck it, I'm finishing the movie." Like y'all go outside.
He thought he was gonna come back. I guess he wanted to stay in the seat. He thought he was gonna come back, but I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, and then your mom's just outside like, "I'm joining the military. Fuck it." Yeah, like
She
I
was
gotta get
already
away
in.
from this kid.
She was already
No,
in.
I know. I'm just fucking around. Like she's like, you know what? I'm gonna be on constant deployment. Fuck this kid. Like, no, I total respect. Like huge props and fucking respect for your mom and dad. Like, um, just like you said, like they like It didn't work out with them, but then the fact that they were there and still doing cool things like that with you, and even though you like could your 6 year old fucking self to 8 year old 10 years old self couldn't fucking handle it.
Yeah,
Um, that's just like extra funny, you know. But little moments like that are what's cool. Like just my parents obviously were together until my mom passed away, so I had the benefit of that. But my parents, um, like my dad was a truck driver, so he was like always gone. Like when I was younger, he was working for Warner, so it's like he would go away for like a month, month and a half,
yeah.
and then come back for like a week or whatever, and then he would go back out for like a month, month and a half again. So it was like when I was little. Oh, okay, that's the TV or whatever. Like I was when I was little, um, he was gone a lot, and then we talk on the phone, and like every now and then, you know. And this is something that I think about, where it's like I would be kind of scared sometimes because I like learned about car accidents and shit like that, and
Yeah,
I didn't know if my dad like how safe a driver my dad is, but like I would sometimes think about, um, what if my dad doesn't come home, you
yeah,
know, like when I was real little, like 6, 7, 8, you know, and I would have those thoughts, and I don't think I ever shared that with him, but it was moments where like when he would come home, he like if we were cutting down trees in the front yard or something like that, like I'd be riding with him to the dump while we're taking in shit, and then unloading, loading. Like we would cut grass together. It's like we were like on the weekends and stuff. Like we would be working. Like he would have stuff around the house to do. Like he would take time off, and then like those trips where my dad. Huge respect for my dad for what I'm about to say, because my mom had 4 kids when he met her. 4, and they were
oh
all 3 years
really?
apart. Yeah, because like she had 2 husbands before and 2 kids with each husband. So my dad showed up
I didn't know
to
that.
two. Yeah, he showed up to 2 baby daddies with 4 kids, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm in." like, and then my dad was 41 when he had me, and he always makes the
Yeah,
joke because like he has no kids except for me that I know of. You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe my dad. Maybe I have a long lost half brother somewhere. But like, my dad showed up, and again, huge respect for that, because even me now, when I'm like thinking about it, I was like, if I came into a woman's life and she had kids, I don't know if I would be the one to want to step up and be that stepdad, you know, for them, unless they're like really cool kids or whatever, or like whatever is going on, whatever. But my dad did, and it was the moments where he would like take us all and we'd go to like Disney World or something like that, you know. And I'm like, damn, my dad fucking busted his fucking ass, saved money to take fucking what is it, 7 people to
yes,
fucking Disney World. You
yeah.
know how fucking outrageously expensive that shit would be, and we would be there all week. Like we'd go to Epcot on Monday, we go to fucking Animal Kingdom or whatever. What is it? Animal Kingdom?
Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom. Yeah,
Yeah, Animal Kingdom on fucking Tuesday. We'd go to Magic Kingdom fucking Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday we'd go to like whatever the fuck the other one
Hollywood
is. What's the other one?
Studios.
Hollywood Studios. Yeah, and then we'd leave that Saturday and ride back up.
Yeah,
Like the fact that we did that, I think twice. You know, we did that when I was like 5 or something like that, and then we did it again when I was like 7 or 8 or some shit. It was. I think we were there in 2000, like literally
yeah,
22 years ago. Like I was like 7. And I'm like, I think we went in like early, like late 90s, like 97. And then I think we did win again in like 2000, 2001. But it was like
yeah,
the fact, like my dad was busting ass to do that. Like he'd be gone for like months and shit like that. And I think about that, and he has no idea what kind of impact that had on me. He was just doing what he fucking did.
yeah,
And even me as a dad now, I don't know what I'm doing. That's in like I don't know what my kids view me as. Like I view my dad as.
yeah,
Like I have huge respect for my dad, and he was a great role model. Like he works hard, he fucking busts his ass. Like he's funny, he's charismatic. Like he can carry a conversation. You can talk to him. Like he could talk a little bit about anything
yeah,
for the most part, and it's like that's where I get a lot of my characteristics from. Like my mom used to joke about
Oops.
She'd go, um, you know how they say the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree,
They say apple over here, but yeah,
or apple, or
yeah,
whatever. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
yeah.
Acorn, whatever. Maybe it was apple, whatever. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Um, Basically, what that means is the apple falls down, grows another tree that's like exactly like it,
Okay.
something like that. Like basically saying like, oh, these two people are like pretty similar. Basically, what the phrase is meaning. My mom used to say that the apple didn't fall from the tree. I just grew up from the root. Basically, like saying, here's the tree, and I just grow out of the ground next to it with no apple. Like, I'm literally the exact same as my dad. And it's so funny because my siblings, well, like when I was younger and I didn't understand that my dad was like a man, um, and I was like kind of harsh in my tone and kind of like judgmental sounding, and I was just kind of like an asshole. My sisters and things like that would be like, "You sound just like your dad," and I'd be like, "What do you keep saying?" Like I used to get upset about it, and then now I'm like, "Thank you,"
Yeah,
because like my dad, like why would I not want to be like my dad?
yeah,
He's a great dude, in my opinion. I mean, we have different characteristics as well. Like I think I'm a little more empathetic, a little more sympathetic. I feel like I've done more like education as far as mindset and stuff like that than he has. But he was kind of more like trial and error, whereas more as I was like actively trying to learn these things. Like he has a lot of good mindsets and stuff like that. Whatever. But he's a good role model, you
yeah.
know? Like would you be proud to end up or be like your dad?
In certain aspects, yeah,
Yeah. Like same here. I mean, obviously, yeah, certain aspects. But like when it comes down to it, they used to say that. And every now and then I find myself doing things like I remember one time I was sitting in the chair and I was talking to my mom. I was like, and you know what's I was like talking about something on the news.
yeah.
I was like, you know what's crazy about that? Nothing's gonna happen, right? And I was like, damn it, I said it just like my dad right there. and but my dad's definitely like that social butterfly where he wants to be kind of center of attention. And if we're not talking about something that he's interested in, he's kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of like that, but I care a little bit more about what other people are talking about as well. Um, but yeah, when I was younger, yeah, he wasn't there a lot, and that caused us to not have a very open relationship. Like me and my mom, I could talk about anything, but me and my dad, there was always kind of like a wall, a barrier. But it wasn't until after my mom passed away and me and Tatiana moved back in, and he sees me like with her,
Yeah.
and then he's getting like mad. He's like, you know what? I think somebody's yanking your chain, and you're just letting them fucking do it. Like somebody's just jerking you around and just letting you do what it like they're doing whatever. Because he would get mad, and I think maybe he was a little more of the jealous type than I am. Like I'm really not the jealous type at all,
Yeah.
but like I think he might have been the little more of the jealous type where Tatiana, like right after Marie was born, and we're living it with him.
Yeah.
Tatiana would sometimes go out with her sister because her sister lived with us, and they would go to the club or they would go hang out. They'd go to a concert, just the two of them,
Yeah.
and I'd be at home with the baby playing video games or whatever. Like after Marie went to sleep,
Yeah.
and I guess my dad viewed that as like, oh, you're just like a wuss, you know, like you're
Really?
letting her just like walk all over you. Like that's what I guess he was looking at it. But then to me, I'm just like, what the fuck is the
You
problem?
just
Like
being a
she's gonna
dad,
go
yeah.
have fun.
She having fun,
Yeah,
you chilling with your daughter.
yeah. Like what? I don't like. I didn't see an issue with
Yeah.
that, right? And I still don't like if Tatiana's like, "Hey, I'm going to the club." I'd be like, "Fuck, go have fun,"
yeah.
you know. Like whatever. Like you're a human being. You're an individual. It's like I
But
trust you.
you'll be surprised though, man. A lot of dudes be like, hell no, like I've heard that a
Oh, I
lot.
know,
That's what's crazy about that. Like some dudes be like, oh hey, no, where you going? You ain't going. You ain't dressing like that. It's terrible, dude. But
dude. Like when she's walking out the door, I'm like, "Sluttier the better." That way you don't have to buy any drinks.
that's
um,
hilarious.
yeah, I'm really not the jealous type at all.
I'm
So
not
it's
either.
like my dad was thinking that I was just getting walked over,
Yeah,
right? And it wasn't until like we did something like my dad like stormed out like all pissed off, and I was like, Tatiana came home. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to say something to my dad or like stand up because like this is getting ridiculous.
yeah,
And he it was like super late. Like he doesn't normally do that. Like usually he's home at like 10, 11 whenever went out to the bar or whatever. Like it was like 1 a.m. I was like, where the fuck is this man?
Yeah.
Right? And then I actually like was like, yo, I don't know. I called him a few times. He didn't answer. I was like, what the fuck is up with this dude? Right? I actually called the cops. I was just like, hey, I have no idea. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, my dad has been. He went out. This isn't like him to not be home or whatever. But then as the cop pulls in and I'm talking to her, and then he pulls in and he's like, what's going on? It's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I was like, oh, dude. He's like, you, dude. I was like, whatever. And then I basically stood up to him one night, and then the conversations kind of changed, you know, after that, where it was kind of like, I guess he started realizing and recognizing that, oh yeah, I'm a man, I'm my own person. I am an adult. This is my family dynamic. This is what works for us, whatever. And he started showing a lot more respect and things like that, and not so opinionated negatively towards me and my family and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? And it was kind of one of those like, I had to like grow up and stand up to my dad and kind of challenge him. And even now, I still don't feel like we have like the best relationship because we haven't really talked in a couple weeks. And last time we talked on the phone, it was kind of just like, "Hey, Dad, what's up? Hey, cool, you're home, awesome," because he still does trucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Cool, you're home, nice." He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be off for a couple of weeks or about a month or so." Da 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 da. I'm like, "Cool. Any plans?" He's like, "No, not really." Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like kind of cut and dry and kind of like, I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's a dad thing. I think my dad does that too. Like I feel like when I talk to my mom, we like on the phone for like an hour, and my dad's like
Hmm.
probably 5 minutes. But it's not like
Okay.
that's just how dads are. I feel like it's like I know he's a busy dude, and you know, it's just to the point, pretty much. Like, okay, yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. I love you too. See you soon, or whatever, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm more of an in person with my dad. Like we'll have great conversation in
Mm.
person, but over the phone it's like, but let's get off the phone. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah. It's like, leave me the fuck alone. This ain't even what I want to be doing right now. Like, I'm barely paying attention to you. I'm working on something else. Like, but sometimes it's good. Like, sometimes we're just like cutting up, cracking jokes.
Yeah,
Like, we're on the phone for like 30, 40 minutes. And, but sometimes he's just not in a very talkative mood. And, like, when it comes to emotional stuff, my dad is more like that reserved, like, man guy, like old school guy. Because my dad's fucking. I'm turning 29 this year. That means he's turning 70 this year.
yeah,
My dad's old, dude. He's 70, and that fucking bothers me a little bit. Because I'm 28 right now. My dad is 70.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. My
That sounds
my dad about to be
like
67, dude. So yeah, I'm there
dude,
with you.
but think about this. When I was 10 and my dad was 50, that doesn't sound like a huge gap. You're like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, your dad, like, I'm 10, my dad's 50, right? But then when you're like, oh yeah, I'm 28, my dad's 70, it sounds like fucking this.
Yeah,
It sounds like he's like 65 years older than me, you know. But like, and I understand everybody who's doing math. He's like, it's the same gap. Yeah, no shit. But um, like with thinking about that, I'm like, okay,
yeah,
my dad is getting older. It's kind of he's thinking about life differently.
yeah,
Like he's changing. Someone told me this, or I heard this, where it's like, sure, your parents are watching you grow up, but you're also watching your parents grow old.
yeah,
You're watching your parents grow up because when you're born and you're like 10, 15, and your parents are like 50, like 40 something, 50 or whatever, unless they're younger, it's like you're seeing your parents at 35 or 40 with 40 years of life experience,
yeah,
right? They don't know what's ahead of them, just like you don't know what's ahead of you. From 10, like if you're 15, from 15 to 25, 10 years, you don't know what's going to happen. From 40 to 50, those 10 years, they don't know what's going to happen. So it's like you're watching your parents also experience new life
yeah,
as well. And I've always kind of had that mindset where I'm like, oh, yeah. Even me at 28 right now, I'm like, dude, I'm going to be 30 in 2 years. Like, fuck, it doesn't even feel like it.
Yeah,
Dude, I still feel like I'm like 23, or like I still feel like I'm a kid that doesn't know
yeah,
what the fuck he's talking about.
exactly.
You know, which is great. I love that feeling because I don't want to have it all put together
Yeah,
because it's like exciting. It's fun. Like I'm enjoying the experience. I think, and with my dad, it's a little different because this is crazy to think about because my dad is 10 years older than my mom, and my mom passed away 6 years ago. So in my head, my mom is still. What the hell is that?
some big booty. Oh, that's what.
Shit.
He's like,
Big booty bitches, big booty bitches. But like, my dad is 10 years older than my mom, so when she passed away, it was 2016. So that's 6 years ago. She would have been 50. She was like 52, 53, right? So in my head, my mom is still 53, but then my dad's 70,
yeah,
or 54, and my dad's 70. So it's just like it's because like my mom's kind of like freeze frame in time at 50, 52, 53, whereas my dad keeps aging, and I'm seeing my dad experience life without my mom. Seeing my
yeah.
dad dating was like funny. You know,
Really?
yeah, like seeing him go from oh my wife passed away to going to bars to going out and having a girlfriend and then things not working out and then him having another girlfriend and things not working
I
out
saw
and
that a
then
lot too, dude. Just
yeah,
it's
yeah,
terrible.
it's like you just kind of. But it's like I'm 25 when he's doing it. It's not like I'm a little kid or whatever, you
Yeah,
know. And and then it's not like my parents split up to where I'm seeing my mom also date,
yeah,
or what have you. It's like I'm seeing my dad just be like a free agent again, you know,
yeah,
to where it's just like, and then we still talk about my mom, you know. So it's even kind of it's giving like a weirder dynamic. And then I don't know, but like when I think about my dad, it's like, yeah, my dad's in his fucking own ways. What the fuck? Hold on one second. What is that?
we got some big booty girls over there, man. That's how it is. And man, James cleaning up
Okay.
over there.
It's just a U-Haul truck. I'm just like, but like I heard boo, boo, like music, and then when you were like big booty bitches, I was just like, damn, I think it might be. No, but like, see, I have nothing but like respect for my dad, and I mean, there's certain characteristics or whatever where it's just like you kind of grow older and you kind of see, okay, this is kind of his character flaws. I mean, everybody has them, you
Yeah,
know, and it's just it's okay, you know.
yeah,
But like, I have nothing but respect for my dad. I love my dad very much, and when I think about being a dad, he is a good role model,
yeah,
because like seeing my dad relax and just sit down and like watch TV or something like that. I remember when I was real young, and I feel like I've always had like this perception of age and time, and things are not always going to last. Because I was, I remember watching, just laying on the floor,
yeah.
watching, like my dad was watching like NASCAR, and he's like 50 something, and he's like falling asleep in the chair, and
My
like a little
dad does that
drool's
too.
coming down.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm like, and I remember when I was real little and looking at my dad, like, and again, I always had this concept of death and stuff like that.
yeah.
I don't know why I thought my dad was just gonna die like every day. Every day I was just like, like I'm gonna lose my dad one day. But
That's
like
tough. Yeah,
for some reason, I just grew up thinking shit like that. And then last person I ever would have expected would be my mom first. And but like I would think about that as a little kid. Like, man, my dad's older. Because I had this understanding that my parents were older.
yeah,
My dad was 40. Again, my dad was 41 when he had me. So like even me as a little kid having older parents, I had like a different perception of what my kids are experiencing,
yeah.
you know? Cuz like, dude, I'm late 20s and Marie's 6. My dad was 45. Like 20 years older than me almost. having his first kid.
Yeah.
So it's like a very different experience, I think. And just to kind of like what I was thinking about when I was a kid, I know Marie's got to be thinking shit like that or something similar or something slightly different.
Yeah.
Um, she has her own thoughts, her own experiences, and her own vision of me that may or may not be true. She thinks I'm a fucking superhero, which is
That's
great.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, because that I'm trying to set the bar right, and I have Tatiana at home like boosting me up too. Like your dad's working, he's providing for us, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I'm a dad sometimes.
Why?
I don't even think that I no, I don't even think that I like Tatiana feels the same way. I don't even feel like I have kids. I don't even
Oh,
feel like
okay.
I'm a
Okay.
parent.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like I feel like there's these two little people that I hang out with all the time, which is like Marie and Bella. And I say that all the time. Like I really don't feel like I'm just this dad, you know,
Yeah.
where it's like I don't know. I just don't just doesn't come across like my brain sometimes. But every now and then I do kind of get like that little feeling of like, oh yeah, I'm a dad. Like when people, how if you get like a job or you meet somebody new and they're like, hey, tell me three things about you, right?
Yeah.
Dad is not one of the three things that I think of first. I'm not like, oh, I'm a dad. Like it's like, oh, tell me three things about yourself. It's like, oh, well, I mean, 28. I like riding motorcycles, playing video games. Um, skiing is a new hobby that I fucking like. It's like those are the shit things I say. And then it's like married and dad like is not like my number one identifiers.
Yeah.
Which in my personal opinion I think is a good thing because uh, I'm maintaining individuality as a human being
Yeah.
and agency as my own individual self, where it's like I'm not just labeled or not labeled, but I'm not just boxing myself in as like I'm a dad
Yeah.
because people have their own connotation of what a dad is
Yeah.
because everybody has a different experience with their own dad, you know. And I don't know. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I love my dad a lot, man. Like
Yeah.
I got a lot of good memories, man, and it's cool. Like I love that. And then literally, recently, I think this was the beginning of the year, man, because I think that's what I was telling my dad about, like stocks and crypto and stuff like that. Because he used to do stocks back
Mm-hmm.
then, and he says all the time, he was like, "Dang, man, I messed up. I could have had a lot of money off Six Flags, but he like sold it before it like took off like crazy back then." But
God damn it.
so I'm telling them, how, like, well, then not now because this whole freaking inflation bull crap. When it was really good. Um,
Dude, now's the time to buy, bro.
yeah, but I don't got no money to
Buy a lot. Dude,
buy.
Stellar is like 10 cents. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck yes, I'm getting that.
So like that conversation with my dad, like he was just telling me how he was proud of me and stuff like that, and then like to
Mm-hmm.
hear see my dad like get teared up, he was like, man, if anything happens to me, just make sure that you take care of my grandsons. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no kids right now, but my nieces that does, and he would just like, man, you know what? Take care of my grandsons. And like thinking about it, we in the club when he telling me this, I was just going to see my dad. So he's getting teared up in the club in front of his friends. So I know he was emotional. He was just like, make
Yeah.
sure you take care of my grandsons. So my dad telling me that, it's like it felt like I accomplished something because like you said, how you had that respect from your dad, it felt like I gained respect from my dad. Like, oh, I see you
Right.
growing as a man. I see you doing things. We may not have like the same path, but you have your own path, and what you're doing is something good. And I believe that you gonna change what you say you're gonna change.
Right.
Because like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do none of that. My whole family is like freaking drinks pretty much, and he likes the fact that people come at me and be like, "Oh, take this, take that," and he likes that I have my own mindset and ain't trying to do none of that. Like, you can do that, but he knows I'm not gonna do it. And
Yeah.
I feel like growing up,
Yeah. Just to like harp on that, when we were at Sky Zone,
yeah,
like last weekend or the weekend, I think it was the weekend before. Um, we were there and you had Sprite. You just had like a Sprite, and even someone made a joke like, "Hey man, that ain't water,"
Yeah, they already know.
like they were on your ass, like because they know that you just barely drink anything but water. It's just um, just very funny that it's like like they know,
Yeah,
people know.
yeah. So I like that because even though they play with it, but it's like they respect it. Like, okay, well,
Yeah,
more for me. I can drink whatever I want. So, uh,
right.
so that's just cool. So having that conversation with my dad, just knowing that, you.
When was that conversation?
Mm, let's see, June, July, August, September. I don't know. Maybe it had to be December, probably. It had to be like December. Or sometime New Year. I don't know if it was near my birthday. Something. Maybe it was near my birthday.
Hmm.
Maybe it was in February. But I know it was like not in a.
Earlier this year, like
Whenever
recent, like
this
last
inflation bull kept
7 months.
happening,
Oh,
right
okay.
before the war started. So I think the war started on my birthday on the 22nd of February, which was stupid. But yeah, sometime before that. So yeah,
Okay.
just seeing like that. Um, just knowing that my dad proud and appreciating the type of man that I've grown into, because I was like a late bloomer as they call it. Like I didn't know what the heck was going on, the whole college situation, and then me having a
Hmm.
job and all this other stuff. But then now coming into my own, basically like having a family,
Yeah.
investing, doing stuff out of the normal, you know, basically
Hmm.
trying to do stuff not for myself but for everybody else. And it
Right.
just felt like at that moment, like my dad, I felt like my dad was actually finally proud of me. But he probably was before, but in that
Yeah.
moment, I felt it within my soul. So,
Like here's the glass of proud of you. He was probably like almost full,
yeah,
but then it's like bubbles over to the top where he has to say something.
yeah,
Like here lately, the moves you're making and things like that. Like, if anything, I think my dad lost some respect for me
really,
because like I told him to because I mean here I am like trying to do different things or whatever. I had him go and invest in a Amazon store with me, and it didn't pan out. It didn't work. Like it died. Uh, because of like we were making great sales, things like that, but then like the fulfillment, the distribution was like not fucking working. So kind of got fucked on that. And I could have, I don't know. It
yeah,
was like a company that I was working for that was like getting results for people, but then like a
yeah,
lot of people that I was helping out it wasn't helping, right? So I had him invest money in that. It was a loss. So I had him buy different things in crypto, and then this fucking inflation shit. So it's like all of that is like way down. He didn't sell. He's like, I'm not putting any more in though. And I'm all right,
yeah,
okay. And like here, like dude, over the last like week and a half, I've bought like $200 worth of Stellar because it's so fucking low now.
yeah.
So I'm still putting in, but um, yeah, it's just kind of shit like that where I don't know, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, and I don't know.
Like you said, hey, we are own people, bro, and it just things will work out. I feel like giving them the message is all you can do.
Yeah,
Because like I said, guys, if you doing something, tell your family what you're doing. Not don't tell them how much money you got, but just be like, yo, try to invest in this because when you get your money, they'll have their money too, and they won't be asking you for your stuff. They'll have their own stuff. So don't ever forget about it. Don't
yeah,
be selfish with your stuff. Be like let other people know because that spreads the wealth. They'll have theirs. You'll have yours, and you ain't gotta be like, oh, well, you gonna break me some off, cuz we gonna do this, we gonna do. Nah, y'all got your own stuff, bro. so,
yeah, right.
so
And
yeah,
I don't know, but it's hard when they don't have the right mindset.
yeah,
When they don't have the right mindset, because like uh, it's beneficial that your dad is like a business owner and things like that, and
yeah,
he's already in a position where he has like a bit of influence in the family, so other people could be also potentially learning from that, things like that. Whereas in my family, like ain't nobody got anything,
your sister
you know.
had something at one point, right?
What?
Absalom vapes.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, that she just got a regular job now. That shit went under.
Yeah, I used to drive by there. I ain't see it no more, but they had something, man.
Yeah, but it didn't turn into anything,
Yeah,
right? Sustainable. So then the mindset is like, oh, I tried and failed, so let me not do it again. Some shit like that.
that's tough.
From what I'm seeing, you know?
Yeah.
And then even when I'm talking about different things, as far as like, uh, they take shit the wrong way sometimes, and they're kind of odd. Like, me and my sister went to South Carolina or North. I can't fucking remember, but we went skiing,
Mm,
and they got all fucking upset when it's like, fuck, y'all wouldn't even want to go,
yeah.
right? And then, well, it's at least the thought of inviting me. It's like, you don't want to go. You're not gonna want to go.
Yeah.
Why are you upset about me not inviting you to something you don't want to go to,
Yeah.
right? And then when I went to Vancouver, like with my mentor or whatever, and then I basically posted like day one. This is my experience. Hey, to all my family members, to all the friends and family, things like that that don't support me, just understand that in where I'm going and my mindset and things like that. If you're not showing support, I don't want anything to do with you. I basically said that. My sister got all fucking mad. Like, what do you mean you don't want anything to do with us? I'm like, to the ones that
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
support me, are you saying that you don't support me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I do support you. Then I'm not talking to you. You're getting upset about nothing. This mindset is making me not want to deal with you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and then they're like, "You sound just like your dad," and I'm like,
Here's the you
"Okay,
there.
here's to you, dad." But like, that actually is a pretty true thing, you know. Like, fuck, like, Andrew Tate, he said a video. He's like, I felt like I was raised by the best father in the world. And someone goes, yeah, but he wasn't there. And he goes, dads don't have to be there like 24/7. Like, it doesn't benefit the kid to have the dad sitting there changing diapers and arguing with the mom every day. Like, that's not, you should be looking at your dad like he's a superhero, like he's handling business, like he gets shit done. Like,
Yeah.
it's the man's job, it's the dad's job to be impactful. That's why I was saying it's not about quantity of time; it's about quality of time.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
the time that you are there, what are you doing to make it special? You know, and I try to do things. Like, I mean, I'm busting my ass. I'm working hard all the time. So it's like when I do see my girls, I'm like, we're chilling on the couch, we're snuggled up, we're watching a movie together, you know, shit like that. And I don't know. I like when it comes down to it, none of us know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, we're just taking what works and what doesn't work and getting rid of it. You know?
It was crazy. Speaking of, like you said, the dad being a superhero. One of the first times, like I seen my dad like just ball his eyes crying, was on a Father's Day. I gave him like a card like with Superman, and it was basically like, I love you, Dad. You're my superhero. And then it said like, thank you for being my Superman. And my dad was like bawling his eyes. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to react. I was looking at my mom like, she was like, go hug. I think I was like 15 or something, but my mom was like, go hug him. And I'm just looking around like, is he okay?
Go hug him.
Like I froze
You're like,
up.
dude, I just made this man cry.
Yeah, I was like, does he not like it? I didn't know what I was thinking. I was like, oh shoot, like what should I do? And then he really appreciated that because like I told you, I didn't understand it back then, but I guess it's just him, feeling that acknowledgement. Like I told you, women want
Yeah.
attention, men want acknowledgement. So he got that acknowledgement from his son that, like he was appreciated. And it really got to him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Damn, like, you know what's crazy? Like, talking about like your dad crying. I wanted to actually ask you that. Like, when was the first time you saw your dad cry? Like, when was the first time? Right?
That was probably it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, like, dude, the first time I saw my dad cry, I think, because my mom had a stroke in 2009, right? And like you're 15, like you're seeing your dad cry for the first time, like actually bawl his fucking eyes out,
Yeah.
right? So my mom had a stroke in 2009, and the doctor tells us that there's a brain, like a clot right here that's inoperable, and that eventually led to her dying in 2016. Like, it broke free, and she was gone like that. Um, but in 2009, when she had the stroke, like half her face is kind of like drooped
Really?
because she had a stroke, right? and it didn't mess with her like memory or speech or anything like that. It just messed with her like physical. Like on the left side, she was kind of
Yeah.
like her hand was kind of like this, and the nerve damage. So like if you touch her arm, she's like it feels like needles. It feels like you're ripping my
Ooh.
skin off. Shit like
Yeah.
that. And he we went and the doctor told us that it was inoperable, stuff like that. And my dad was strong, like he was tough, like he was just kind of like he's like, hey honey, what's up? You know, da da da. Da. He's good for the kids, good for whatever. Dude, my dad's friend Mark showed up, and in 2009, I'm like 13.
Yeah.
You know, my dad's friend Mark shows up, and dude, my dad's just standing there, like outside the door, and I'm standing there with my sister DJ, and again, DJ's like not really like she's kind of sad, she's kind of like everybody's got like a somber look, dude. My dad's friend walks up, and he's like, "Hey, everything okay?" And dude, my fucking he touches my dad's shoulder. My dad just immediately breaks,
Man.
and I was
Yeah.
just like, I was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
this is serious, right?" And then like me, I'm just like no idea what's going.
Yeah.
I'm like a dumb kid. So I'm just like, is mom okay? You know, like not understanding that it's like actually really bad.
Yeah.
And dude, me and DJ go sit down on the windowsill after seeing that, and she's 3 years older than me, so she's 16, and we're talking with my older sister Jessica, who's 9 years older than me, so she's like 20, 21. God damn, really? That's fucking crazy to think about. My sister at 21, like, because 2009 I was 13, right? No, I was 16. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, I was 16 when it happened.
Yeah.
So like first time I'm seeing my dad really bawl his eyes out. I'm 16 years old, and so she's 19, and then my other sister, it's like I'm 16, so she's like 25, right? Dude, we're sitting over at the windowsill, like, have you ever seen James cry? You know, and I'm like, dude, I've never seen my dad cry like that,
Yeah.
right? 25. She knew this man for like 16 years, and she's 25, and she's 19. I'm 16, and we're all three like, what the fuck? Like, we've never seen him bawl his eye, like even like a small like tear or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, he was like a rock. And then after my mom, like, he would tear up a lot when my mom passed away.
Yeah.
And then you know what's crazy? Like, my dad was 100%, 1,000% at the funeral.
Yeah.
My mom's funeral, 1,000%. I don't remember him being there.
Really?
I don't remember even seeing him or talking to him that day. I don't remember a single moment where I was talking to my dad at the funeral, my mom's funeral.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I probably was in shock. Everybody thought I was like losing my mind. Everybody thought I was like gonna snap because I was just so unfazed by what was happening.
Yeah.
Like I was like, then I was very angry and would cry in private. But like everybody was like, "Dude, what are you all right?" Because like I was so calm, like I was cracking jokes. I was like thanking people for being there. I was like, "Hey, thanks for showing up." Like it was like weird.
Yeah.
It was like weird, dude.
Well, people,
It was
yeah,
weird.
people do
Like
it so
I was in
differently.
like a weird fucking moment.
Yeah.
But like, but yeah, it was just kind of like okay. That was the first time I really saw my dad cry, and then now since then I've seen him like tear up a few times when we're talking about her going and stuff like that, and my dad's a little more sensitive now in his older age, but that typically happens with people. Like I remember being really like young, like 10, 15 years ago and visiting my grandmother who at the time was like 70, 80, stuff like that. And her like when we're leaving, like we go and spend a week with her and then when we're leaving, she's like, "Oh yeah, you know, it was great to see you guys, you know," and
Yeah.
cuz she lived in a different state, but tearing up just like cuz in her mind she's probably like this could be the last time I fucking see these people. I'm 77. You know, I ain't gonna fucking be here forever. You know, so it's like humans just dealing with that natural inevitability that hey, we're gonna wither and go away one day. You know, and when you're up there like 70, 71, stuff like that, you start thinking a little more heavily about it. And
You start thinking about your whole life, like, yeah.
yeah, I mean, damn, can you imagine when you're like 70 and you're like, man, 50 years ago, I started a fucking podcast.
I still think about that now, dude. I'm
Yeah,
only
like
27. I'm like, bro, back then, like, I can't
yeah.
imagine that freaking 70 years old, bro.
Yeah, it's 70 years old. You're like, man, we used to go get soda pop down and like go get a popsicle down at the soda fountain. It's like nobody knows what you're talking about, you idiot.
Like little kids would be roasting
Yeah,
us.
that was like a John. That was like a John Mulaney joke. He's like, because he was like, I don't know, 30. He's like, I was on the phone with Blockbuster Video. And he's like, which is a very old sounding sentence nowadays.
Yeah.
He goes, that's like when your grandmother would say, we used to go play jacks down at the soda fountain. And then he goes, no one knows what you're talking about, you idiot. And he goes, you know how you talk to your grandma? And then he goes on to the next joke. Like, that's how. So really, people talk to their grandmothers that way? But no, I think about that and I'm like, damn. So I mean,
Yeah.
here I am, 28, a dad. My kids are young, like 6 and 2. I think about when they're going to be teenagers and I'm going to be like 38, Like my daughter will be 16, I'll be 38. What the fuck?
But he said your dad
That
was
sounds
41, right?
Yeah.
So then you'll still be like younger than your dad.
I'll still be, yeah. Like when I'm 40,
Yeah.
like this is the thing. When I'm 40, Marie will be 18.
Wow.
She'll be almost moving out by the time my dad had his first kid.
That's
Isn't that
funny.
crazy?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And then so I mean, having an older dad, I mean, it's not like we were outside playing fucking catch and shit like that.
Oh, well.
Like he wasn't running around with me. Yeah. Like he wasn't running around with me. Like I was playing with my friends. Like we'd be like shooting basketball and stuff like that. Like whenever I was with my dad, we were working on stuff. Like we'd go to his truck. We'd, like I said, chop down trees, go to his buddy's house, cut down logs, like get firewood, like real just man shit. Like we didn't play.
I was like the sporty
And
man shit. I didn't do that. But I was
yeah,
like, we was like the
I
sports.
just did like hard
football,
labor when I was a kid.
sports, baseball, basketball.
Like,
We was doing that.
like I just did, dude. Like
You was doing
me and
labor.
like I was doing like manual labor. Like I'm holding the flashlight. He's yelling at me like, "Hold the flashlight right here!" Like that shit. Like that was the dad I had. And we would go to like motorcycle stuff, like like leisure activities. We would go motorcycle riding. Like I'd be on the back. Like we'd go to CC's Pizza, shit like that.
Good old days.
And or we'd go out to eat. As a family.
Yeah.
Those are the memories that I think about. Like just the dude. Like my dad used to wear like Axe body spray. Like when it came out, like he would just like wear like the regular just Axe.
The regular.
And like that wasn't even, it's not even like the greatest smell. Like if I smelled it now, I'm just like whatever. But it's like it's the imagery of me being like a teenager climbing into the back of my dad's truck. Mom's in the front seat, he's driving, and we're on our way to like fucking TGI Fridays or something like that, or Longhorns or Outback, and he sprays the Axe right before we go in.
Yeah.
And it's just like the smell of the truck,
Yeah.
like full belly, getting into the truck. Like I got the leftovers like sitting next to me, and we're riding home. It's like nice and cool. Like it's dark. We get home. It's like 10 o'clock. Like we put the leftovers in. I'm changing into my like night clothes or whatever, and like we have like a little bowl of ice cream while we're watching like Family Guy or some shit, and then we're laughing. And then just being like, all right, good night, Dad. Dude, I remember like moments where, you know how you make like the fart noises with your mouth and shit? Like like
Yeah.
shit like that. Like in like other parts of the room, like you're like farting on your arm or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
like stupid shit,
Yeah.
right? My parents are in their bedroom. I'm in my room, like making like these loud ass fart noises. And he's making fucking fart noises. And then playing like tag and shit like that, like last touch, like you're it, shit like that. Just goofy shit.
Yeah.
And I think about all that, and it's kind of flooding back in all of a sudden because I'm thinking about it. But stuff that I hadn't even thought about in years,
And that's what's
And
cool about that, because like you said, that smell made you think about all of that. And that I thought I was the only one that thought like that. But that's cool that certain things can do
no,
that to you.
no, the smell is actually the strongest memory,
Really?
like attachment to memory. Smell, yeah, that's the strongest scent or sense that's attached to memory. So it's like you could smell something and be like, "Oh my god, this smells like that time I went to the beach in
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach, and like the spray washed up on like splashed me when I was on the dock that one day. It's like it'll take you back to a specific memory. You know,
Oh, I guess that's why dogs
and
do that. I didn't realize that. That's why dogs be sniffing. Oh yeah, I know you. Like type shit.
yeah, it's like because their smell is like so much stronger than even ours.
Yeah.
And but yeah, smell is attached to is the strongest attachment to memory. Like that's why you could see somebody and be like, oh, I don't really recognize, but like somebody walk by, you could be like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
like that smells like my dad
Yeah.
from when I was yeah,
All the
like
time.
our sense of smell is actually really really strong, and it's more of like a survival sense, than sight is.
Oh hell, I gotta get
Sight
up
is
out
more
of
like
here.
a yeah, like smells like a wildebeest, and then it's like clever girl,
You get mauled like.
but yeah, like oh shit, I should have. Damn, I hate having a stuffy nose.
Yeah. You say that all the
But
time, which is funny.
yeah.
My nose.
Oh my nose, dude. That's what I'm telling you. Do you hear my voice? Oh my nose. It's like I'm literally going through puberty for the second time. But but yeah, man. Like just thinking about like the impact my dad had, and dude, I remember when I told them that I was gonna have a kid, right?
Yeah.
And my dad was very upset for obvious reasons. um, it's because Tatiana's black, and he didn't like it or whatever. And then he we were in the truck and I was like helping him on some stuff or whatever, and he was mad. And because I was young too, I was like 21 when I told him, and then 22 when she was born. I think can't remember exactly how the fuck old I was. I think I was 22, turning 23 that year. And he was asking me how I felt about it and things like that. And I told him, I was like, well, I mean, you've given me a great example of what a dad should be. So I'm going to just use the lessons that you taught me to be the best dad I can be. And he's like, I didn't teach you these lessons. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like he was so upset about it. And cuz dude, my parents there was never like a time where my parents was like, "Ooh, don't associate with black people." Like they were saying shit like that. They never ever did that.
Yeah.
So me growing up, I was like, whatever, like I didn't think anything of it. And it wasn't until I dated a black person that my dad kind of voiced his opinion all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, a little late for that, don't you think? If you wanted me to be like you. But then it's like after Marie and Bella were born, it's like, dude, he loves the shit out of them. And he's like, whenever he comes home or whenever he think he's gonna be coming by or whatever, he like tries to get like a little pack of M&Ms or something like that because like Bella would always cry. She was kind of like antisocial when people would come around, so he would get like a little pack of M&Ms and he would just leave. Like he wouldn't be like, "Hey, here's M&Ms, go eat them." Like he would have the pack next to him, and he would put like the little M&Ms on the corner of the table because she'd have to come close to get the M&Ms and eat them because she wanted the M&Ms
Yeah.
more than she was scared of him. And then he would just be like, ding, 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 like trying to play with her and stuff like that when she came by. And then eventually he just like got because I would tell him like, oh, just clap, go like that. She'll like run and jump in your arms or whatever.
Yeah.
And then now she's totally cool.
Yeah.
Now they like kind of built up the relationship. And he comes by, he loves them. He said like whenever he's like, hey, say bye, love you. Or give the girls a hug, tell T, love her, because that's what he calls Tatiana. He just calls her T. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. So it's like he's 100% come around as far as that goes. But just like the little things, it's always like the little things
Yeah.
that you remember, and it's just I don't know. It's like the experience you get from this one person that people do also experience with like loved ones and friends. Like the relationship you and I have is different. Like I don't talk or act like this with anybody else but you, right? And then when I'm with McGavin, it's like the same thing. Like I don't act or talk the same exact way with him that I do with you, that I do with Tatiana, that I do with like everybody's interaction with the other person they're talking to is different,
Yeah.
right? And it's one of those things where it's like I'm happy to call my dad because we have this relationship. Whether someone else would think that it's the best, greatest relationship ever or not,
Yeah,
it is what it is. It's what I have as my dad. It's my role model, my father figure, and I feel like he's doing a really good job. And if I could ever show him or express to him that, that would be very nice.
yeah. I feel like the biggest thing for a dad is to always have a son. So I know you probably want a son one day, and then
Oh,
to
I
have
do.
that same feeling, like I think that would be awesome. Like to see your son become a man. It's like that whole Superman quote, like the son becomes the father and the father becomes the son.
Yeah.
That's like a powerful message. Like just to see that is like it's so good. Um,
Yeah, I've never done this on the show, so there's a song that I would recommend that is "Fade Out" or "Fade In" by Nothing More, and the I believe it's "Fade In" or "Fade Out." Nothing more, fade in, fade out. Right. If I go to um, if I go to lyrics, right? Hopefully it'll show them. Yeah. The opening lyrics is just the other day I looked at my father. It is the first time I saw he'd grown old. Canyons through his skin and the rivers that made him carve the stories I was told. He said, "Son, I have watched you fade in. You will watch me fade out. When the grip leaves my hand, I know you won't let me down. Go and find your way. Leave me in your wake. Always push through the pain and don't run away from change. Never settle. Make your mark. Hold your head up. Follow your heart."
yeah.
It is a good fucking song. And it kind of don't watch the music video because that makes no fucking sense at all. But I hate music videos that ruin shit. Right? Like this song sounds like it's like his dad is dying and
Yeah.
growing old and stuff like. But then like the music video is like he's having a kid. He has no relationship with his father. Like it's like a bloody mess. Like because the kid comes. It's like a fucking stupid ass video. It has nothing to do with the. In my opinion, it doesn't even relate or match with the song. But listen to the song. Just go like it's pretty good. Shout out to that song. But it's one of those where it's like I was seeing that or realizing that when I was like 15, like, oh, my dad's kind of getting up there in age. He's starting to get into salt and pepper hairstyle, you know, like the gray hair's coming in, things like that. It's like I'm seeing the age on my dad's face. And, um, dude, just the other day, my dad is talking about getting rid of his truck to get like a smaller like SUV, like a Ford Escape or something like a smaller car. And
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, because he's like, yeah, it's getting difficult getting up and down in the big truck, and I'm like, Dad, I'm like, no, don't give in,
No.
no, bastard. But like,
You said it to your dad.
like he's like getting up there in age. He's like, yeah, slick. It's a little bit hard to get up and out of the truck. No, bastard. Like, but I'm like, no, but Dad, no, but Dad, what about the move?
But dad? Did you
But
call me
like,
but dad? That was a joke from
but
Jack
Dad.
Frost. Michael Keaton.
Yeah, dude, I thought I was the only one that ever fucking remember that movie. Man, Snow Dad is better than No Dad. That's such a good movie too. But like, I think about that, and he jokes around about like Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, where he's like, "Thanks, Junior," like, and he's like, "Junior, Junior." Dude, I gotta tell you this fucking stupid thing. Like the little goof shit that like parents do or like certain people do that you think is funny. Like Tatiana has an accent, so it's like there's certain words that she says where it like comes on like a little thicker, or like how like people have like those sound effects when it's like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna go make a punch, I'm like
Yeah.
like I'm making like that noise. Like she's like, man, I'm gonna hit you with this pen like caulk caulk caulk, like that's the fucking noise she makes. So it's like whenever I do it, she thinks it's funny. And dude, my dad, there's this company out in Alabama, and it's like called Connecta Sausage, right? Like that's the name of the like Connecta,
Connect
right?
the
Is the
sausage.
fucking word on the damn box.
Yeah.
Connecta, right? My dad calls it conscious sausage.
Concha.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, the conscious sausage or whatever. Like, I was, dude. I went over to my friend Stanley's house, and I'm not like that into sausage. Like most of the time, sausage isn't that good, but the connected sausage is really fucking good. So like, he goes, dude, try this sausage. I got it out of Alabama, and I go, dude, is it connecta? And he's like, dude, it is like or whatever. And I'm like, dude, it's so fucking good. So I'm eating it, and I tell him the story about conscious sausage, and we're laughing because I'm like, my dad's a truck driver. Right, so he travels all around the country. He's probably told fucking hundreds of people, "Man, go to Alabama. There's this really great place called Conscious Sausage,"
Gotcha.
and I bet there's like tons of people looking up conscious sausage on Google. Alabama conscious sausage, conch sausage. What did he fucking say? Was it Canancha? Like fucking trying to understand how to fucking find this place. Like he's
Gotcha.
probably giving them no business at all because he's said the name fucking wrong for like
Freaking cunt
15 years.
sausage.
Yeah.
Like,
Cunt sausage. You fucking
they
cunt,
type it in.
cunt, cunt. It's like, how can a fucking sausage be upside down, you stupid little cunt? Like, fucking please. Dude, that shit is so funny to me. Like, just the goofy shit that this person does. That, like, you know what's crazy? If he's my dad, right? So no matter what he does or what he says or whatever his past was like, he's gonna be my dad forever, right? And when I am
Yeah.
80 years old, the person that I'm gonna remember as my dad is him, right? He'll always be a
Yeah.
big figure and person that is a molder and a sculptor of who I am, right? Because of my experience and my relationship with him. And the fucking little shit that like I know and have seen that nobody else knows or has ever seen about this specific human being. And when I think about driving down the street and you see people like there's neighbors that I have never spoken to in my neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
They have those people in their life. And it's funny to think about like how disconnected but connected we all are as humans,
Yeah.
you know? That's like a high thought right there.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But like, it's just funny to think about, and it's just things that I think about sometimes. That I could go down to the local shop, like, and get a sandwich, and there's somebody there that has their own life experiences
Yeah.
that I'll never know about because they'll never. They'll probably quit, and I'll never see them again. I think about that sometimes. You ever thought
Yeah.
about that?
I
Like,
hate those.
you're walking in the
those-
you're walking in the store, and you're like a complete stranger. You're like, I feel like I've seen that complete stranger once before.
Yeah. Or
And
I'll be like, dang, I'll never see this person again. I told you, I feel that all the time when I'm at theme parks. I told you, you wait in line, you create conversation,
oh
be
yeah, you like
like, dang, I ain't never gonna see that person again, ever.
yeah.
It sucks,
Yeah.
but it's like, dang, but that's the way of life.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's just kind of like how collectively as human beings we're all interconnected, you know, which is kind of funny. Have you ever heard of the 100th monkey theory?
No.
Yeah, so here's a little knowledge, people. So, the 100th monkey theory is that there was a isolated group of monkeys that all of a sudden, like, one started doing this thing, like started using a stick to dig in a fucking hole to eat like these bugs or whatever, right? And it was an isolated group, like people were studying it. They never had contact with any other monkeys or any other fucking groups of monkeys or whatever. Like this isolated group of monkeys. And these people were studying it, and there was about like, I don't know, 1,000 fucking monkeys in this like group. And naturally one learns, then they teach the next one, they teach the next one, they teach the next one, all right? And then all of a sudden, after the 100th monkey learned to do it, right? Groups of monkeys and entire monkey colonies or whatever started doing the fucking stick thing. Just all of a sudden, like all of them knew it,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like, what the fuck happened? You know? Because like one found it, and then 5 were doing it, then 10, and then as soon as it hit 100, it was like boom! The surrounding colonies of monkeys that never had any interaction with this group that did it were all now doing it,
Yeah.
and it was just like all of a sudden, like it was like a fucking took like a year for 100 of them to do it, and then boom, like in 10 days, fucking entire country or continent of fucking monkeys were doing it. And it was like, what the hell happened, right? And it was a theory or a thought that, oh yeah, the 100th monkey theory also applies to humans, where it's like after a collective of 100 people do something, boom, it's like everybody does it. You know, it's like with slang, with like words that are used with like ideas and thoughts. It's like after 100 people do it and it becomes like popular thought, it just boom spreads immediately to the whole population.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of weird to think about. And I don't know why I decided to fucking throw that out there, but it made me think of that. Where, like you said, you're never gonna meet this person again, and but there's like this underlining thing where it's like, oh man, we're all connected somehow.
Yeah.
And then that 100th monkey theory kind of leads into that, where it's like it kind of proves or shows us that we're all kind of interconnected
Yeah.
in some weird like
It's a weird
metaphysical
feeling,
way.
dude. Like I'll still never forget about this dude. I don't know if he was from the UK or Australia. It was like
Mm-hmm.
the dude after the ride literally came up to me. He was like, "I'll see you later, man." And I was looking like, "See you later." Like it was like a connection. It was not like obviously I'm not. I'm a straight dude, but for
I was like,
something,
dude, gay.
it was like
Like,
in a. I don't know what it was. It was just like a. Yeah, I'll see you. Like I'll see you again sometime. Like it was the dude was from another realm or something. Like I don't know what the heck it was, but it felt like
it's fucking Kane the Conqueror.
like the dude
He's
was
just like,
cool. He looks like man.
I'll
Who the
be
heck does he
seeing
look
you
like?
again.
Y'all seen Victorious, right? The dude looked like
Mm-hmm.
Sinjin from Victorious.
Who the fuck
But
is
he was like a
Sinjin?
cooler version. Like he didn't have the glass. He was just like a Sinjin was like the dude with like the nerdy guy that was always like
Oh, with the
messing with them.
puppet.
No, hang on. That was
Oh no no no! Oh, I know who you're talking about. He had like the long hair and or the curly hair, and
yeah
he was just like, yeah, thanks
yeah
Victoria, and he was like that really weird dude.
yeah. But this guy didn't act like that. But he kind of looked like that. But he
Okay,
was cool. So it was like I was like, dang, like I wonder who that freak that guy was. Like I didn't get his name or nothing, but it was something about that guy. I was like I remember this. I still remember that. That was years ago. That was like 20, probably like 2010 or something.
yeah, damn. 12 years later, you're still thinking about this guy.
But
I said it like that on
it's
purpose.
just stuff
You know what that
like
makes me
that.
think of?
What's up?
You know what that makes me think of? That makes me think of the movie Bedazzled. Have you seen it with Brendan Fraser?
But that's
Elizabeth Hurley, where he sells his soul to the devil for 7 wishes, and it's like a comedy.
no, hell no. I don't think I watched the
No,
fucking.
yeah, it's funny, dude. Like you should watch it. Like Elizabeth Hurley, you know who that is from Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Oh well, yeah. Since you said I
Mrs.
know.
Kensington. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's hot as fuck. And she's super hot in that movie too. Like she she plays the devil, and Brendan Fraser plays like this guy who's like kind of dorky, but he likes this girl Allison at his job, and she basically like, oh yeah, it's like you're gonna go home, you're gonna cry yourself to sleep at night, and wondering why you're alone and why nobody likes you, right? Because he's like a nerd at work and nobody likes him, and then he's just like,
yeah,
not every night, like almost tearing up, like how the fuck did you know that? And he does like his 6 wishes, and he has after he does the seventh wish, basically he sells his soul. The devil gets his soul. He gets thrown in jail because he goes to the police and he's like, or he goes to church and he's like, um, I wished I had 5 wishes. She's saying I did 6, and I don't really think that's fair. Do you? And he's talking to a priest, and the guy throws him out, and he's like, I'm telling you, the devil jipped me for a hamburger, right? And he gets thrown in jail, and he's sitting there, and he's looking out the window, and there's this random dude in the cell smoking a cigarette, and he's like, so what are you in for, man? And he's like the coolest motherfucker alive. And he's like, so what are you in for, man? And he goes, I sold my soul to the devil for 7 wishes. And he goes, and what'd you get out of it? And he's like, man, you must have got a really good deal out of that. And he goes, actually, I got nothing out of it. He goes, doesn't really sound like a good deal then. And
yeah,
then he's like, basically goes, thing about it is, you can't really sell your soul. And he's like, what do you mean? And he goes, The reason why he started talking to him about it because the cop that throws him in jail is Elizabeth Hurley, who's the devil, right?
Okay.
And he's like, it's her, she's the devil, right?
Yeah.
And then she throws him in, and then the black dude, the cool dude, he like fucking leans forward, and he's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, that ain't no cop, that's the devil,
Yeah.
right? Like he believed him, or he knew, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, what do you mean? How do you know that? And that's when how they kind of sparked the conversation. And he goes, well, you can't really sell your soul anyway because it doesn't belong to you. And he goes, hmm? And he's like, well, who does it belong to? He goes, it belongs to God. Um, see, like, I forgot exactly what he says, but it was kind of one of those things where it's just like he's hitting him with like some fucking hard ass knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And dropping like some major fucking thought provoking shit on him, right? And then after everything's over, he kind of like gets out of the contract and like obviously it ends on a positive note, right? There's a scene where he's walking with the girl that he's dating and he likes her and stuff like that, and it's kind of like a bit of a montage, but he like walks through like this um, place where there's people playing chess and stuff like that, and the black dude that was like giving him the knowledge bombs and the devil Elizabeth Hurley was sitting there playing chess together, and they both look at him like yeah,
Yeah.
like he like almost like he's God or he's Jesus or he's the yin or the yang or whichever the good
Yeah.
one is to the devil's yang. It's like the two
Yeah.
sides, like they're together working together, like trying to help, like trying to save people, shit like that. And
Yeah.
like it's funny because like he looks the other way, and then while he's looking, she's like moving pieces on the chessboard, like cheating at the game. So it's like showing
Yeah.
that she's still evil, but then he's like the good.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like, okay, man, am I like you're saying to that dude, like, is he from another realm or some shit? It's like, damn, am I meeting a metaphysical or spiritual being that's just embodying a human form right now?
It was crazy.
Ha,
The ride we got off was called the Mummy of all. So it was like Egyptian type thing, like freaking Moon Knight or
hey,
something.
you're like, dude, am I speaking to fucking Ra right now? Like, is this Anubis like in a fucking human form? It's like, dude, I am speaking to Emotep right now. Emotep, Emotep,
Freaking
fucking
Mote.
Emotep, Gmotep. Jarrell Moltec. Um,
Like that's my last
but shit like
name.
that is just crazy to think about. And ultimately, uh, I think that is actually a good representation of like male and female, like the protective father
Yeah.
figure. Like I think that's why God is projected and as male because it's like if you go back to the psychological effects or whatever that Jordan Peterson talks about, like order and chaos, like men are order, women are chaos. So I think that the representation of the devil as female and the as God as male is actually like the perfect representation of good and evil, like order and chaos. Not that women are just evil, but it's like the chaotic nature of the devil, you
Yeah.
know. And someone even, what somebody said this one time. They were like, okay, if this is obviously a very shallow view of it, but it's like if the devil punishes people for doing bad things, isn't that a good thing? Like,
It's kind of like it's kind of like
but
the Ghost Rider situation. It's
mhm,
who he's doing it for. Like, is he doing it because God told him to, or is he doing it because the devil told him to?
right,
That's his name.
and I get that, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what makes the devil evil, punishing people for their sins. That's not the evil part of the devil. What makes the devil evil is tempting people away from God
Yeah.
and kind of enticing people to go away from what's supposed to be true and holy and things like that, right? And I know this is kind of like a strange segue to be like on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, by the way. Like, but it is one of those like, okay, it just made me think about that because
Yeah.
of what you were saying about that dude. But but no, man, like when it comes down to it, everybody, um, right now, call up your dad and tell him you love him, even if you hate him.
Reminds me of the Big Daddy moment when they was like, "Yeah, I love you," when they was in court.
Yeah, and he was just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like when he was like, he's like, "Yeah, I know you love me because you wouldn't be here right now trying to make sure I don't do anything stupid." You
Yeah.
know, like he's like, even though we don't get along and shit, like he's always like, "You're a lazy bum, Sonny."
The other guy, he was like, "Did you have a good relationship with your dad?" He was like, "No." Woke up, broke his arm, never seen him since.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, and then like what was it? The weirdo guy that was like walking down the street, and then he's like, "Hey, freak," or whatever. Like said something to him, and then he's like, "Hey man, hey pal, shut the fuck up," or whatever. And then he's like, "You're not mad at me, you're mad at your dad, right?"
yeah,
And he's like, "You're right, I hate my father."
yeah,
And he goes, "See that? I never had a good relationship with my dad. Look at this weirdo. I bet he fucking never had a good relationship with his dad either." You know? And then it's like it's funny to think about like when thinking about it now, it's like, dude, that movie is about like fatherhood and like trying to be a good dad and shit like that.
yeah.
And that shit is so funny. Sausage McMuffin, dude. That movie I think has one of the best like random. You know how like in Adam Sandler movies, like people just like or Happy Madison movies, people just like have like that guy that yells some shit from the background,
Yeah.
like in Deuce Bigelow when he's like, "That's a huge bitch," you know, like that shit. That one to me has the best because the guy like they throw the stick down and trip the skater, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Goddamn stick!"
He's like, "That's my boy."
That's my boy, and it's,
Yeah.
fucking Julian's like, "Yeah, yeah," like cheering, and he's like, "Dude, if you pretend to be asleep, I'll go get you a sausage McMuffin right now." He's like, "Sausage
Yeah,
McMuffin,"
sausage.
and then he walks out. He's like, "Where's the sausage McMuffin?" He's like, "Dude, they stopped serving breakfast at 10." He's like, "I thought it was 10:30." Yeah, I know. He's
And
like, "I
that's
haven't been up this early in like 10 years."
and that's how people knew when they stopped serving breakfast until they do it all day now.
Yeah, which is
That's
like,
how I remember it.
yeah, because of fucking Big Daddy. Like, ain't that funny?
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. I don't know if anybody knew this, or I just found this out. Adam Sandler, the waitress that serves him the Diet Coke or serves him the Coke, when he's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna rot your teeth out anyway, so drink away. Like, here's the Coke." You know, the waitress that
Yeah.
brings over the Cokes is actually his now wife, and that's where they met on the set of Big Daddy.
Ooh. Hold on, the one that was like, "What are you doing in here?" And he was like watching
Yeah,
football or something like that. Oh, she was
yeah,
nice. So yeah,
yeah. She was like she was a banger back then, and then I mean them growing together, she like makes cameos in all his movies and shit like that, you know. She usually plays like a stick in the mud like side character that's just kind of like, really, like that's what you're gonna do, you know, like
really.
she's always playing like that, and where he's just like, well, mind your own business, lady, and but it's like it's just funny, uh, but that they actually met there, which is kind of cool, and then. I wipe my own ass. I wipe my own ass.
I'm like, I
I
know.
know. Like
Yeah.
even Tatiana jokes about that, where she's like we'll say something, and then she's like, "I wipe my own ass. I wipe my own ass."
It's such a sad part, but it's so funny.
Yeah, because he's like, "I know." Like he wants to like hold back tears, you know. Man, that's actually a good movie that I need to go back and watch. It's like it's funny and it has a great message.
Yeah,
That's the thing about Adam Sandler movies.
yeah,
Um, the best Adam Sandler, uh, like thoughtful moment that comes through in the movie is in Click when he's like in the future, like, and he's like old and he's like dying or whatever, and he's like outside, it's like raining. His dad's like, okay, dad," and he's like, family comes first, you know, like.
yeah,
I think about like, okay, yeah, I'm working really hard, right? But it's like I got to keep in mind why I'm working hard, and
yeah,
it's for my family. And even though I'm working hard and providing for them, they still want to see me, you know, and they still want to have time with me.
yeah,
And two cool things, and I don't really know. Uh, one is like a potential or whatever, but it's like uh, next weekend, the kids are going to be going with Morel to Pennsylvania to be with their mom or their grandmother for like Valentine's Day. Not Valentine's Day. What the fuck am I thinking? Valentine's Day. For what the fuck? Valentine's. What?
Dude, the next holiday is like 4th of July.
They're going up there for like her birthday. What the?
Like, come on, with their grandmother on Valentine's Day in June.
Like June 25th. All right, so they're going up there for like a few days, like 4 or 5 days. They're leaving on Wednesday, coming back like Monday, right? So that weekend, me and Tatiana are gonna have some time to ourselves, which is gonna be great for us. And then something else that is kind of cool. It's like Tatiana's planning on going to France, maybe like next month or something with her mom, and she's taking the kids. So then I'll be home, like busting ass, like working all week by myself though. But like, um, so those are like two cool events that are coming up, and just thinking about it, it's like okay, I'm working and I'm able to like offer that up as like an experience because like Marie's 6, Bella's like 2, but Bella might not remember it as well as Marie will. But
Yeah,
like having that experience, like oh yeah, I went with my aunt, we went and saw like visited my grandmother. Like I think about when I was real young, like under 10, going on a trip with my grandmother and my aunt and my two cousins up through like South Carolina, North Carolina, up to New York. I saw the Twin Towers. I saw the Statue of Liberty. I went to Niagara Falls. That was like I was easily because Twin Towers fell in 2001, so this was like in '97.
yeah, I was
You know, so I was
six.
probably like yeah, I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, something like that. And I think it was like '99 or 2000 or something like that. But it's like one of those things where it's like, damn, I was real little, like 6, and I still remember that trip very well.
Yeah,
And this is a trip that Marie's gonna remember, like years later. Like, oh man, I
yeah,
went with my aunt to visit my grandmother in Pennsylvania. It was like really cool for that week, for her birthday. It's just very cool, And being the dad to be able to provide that, like by working things like that, is fun, is interesting. It's
yeah,
cool, you know on Tatiana's birthday last month when we went to Andretti's and then we went to the club and then we went to the cigar bar and then we ate out. It's like having them like working hard and having the money to be able to do that,
yeah,
for her. Makes me feel really good, feels really proud as a dad and a husband. And those are the moments that I think and feel like, oh yeah, I'm a dad,
yeah.
you know.
I feel like that feeling of making other people happy is
Mhm.
probably like my mindset now. Like before, it's like, oh, me, me, me. I don't think I was like that type of person. I wasn't selfish, but it's like the more older I get, the more I appreciate other people's happiness more than mine,
Mhm.
and that makes me happy. Like making other people happy makes me happy. So
Yeah. And I know what you mean about not having the oh me 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 mindset,
yeah,
but like yeah, I mean sometimes it's okay to be a little selfish. Like I can't even tell you the last time I had like extended period of time where I'm going to be by myself. You
well,
know,
yeah,
that's like some high school, like 10 years ago shit.
yeah.
You know, like there was one time where Tatiana took Marie to Pennsylvania, um, and that was like 5 years ago, where she went for like a few days, and I basically played Uncharted 2, like the whole time she
Really,
was gone. Yeah, and just beat the game. And I was living. That was back when I was living with my dad again. And then I was in a really shitty spot the last time we had time apart, where she went up to Pennsylvania for like a month, and that was in 2000. No, 2018, 2019, like the first part of 2019. So that was like 3 years ago. But I was in a really shitty spot, like unable to provide. I was working at a car wash or whatever. I wasn't doing anything fulfilling, and so this will be the first time in a long time that I'm by myself, like feeling good, to where it's like, oh yeah, babe, it's cool. Go enjoy yourself, have fun. Um, and I'm gonna just be here working, fucking playing video games, making videos, shit like that. And yeah,
I hope you
it's
make the
kind of interesting.
videos.
Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna make the videos. No, because I got the other ones uploaded. I just gotta finish out the whatever. It's gonna be uploaded. Like this is gonna go up tomorrow, and the other ones are gonna go up today. I
Perfect.
promise. Perfect.
Yeah. So whenever
So if you're listening to
James
this episode,
get those
episode
freaking videos
24,
up, I'll give him the freaking
yeah.
Miles Morales or let him borrow.
If you're listening to this episode right now on June 19th, Father's Day, 2022, Juneteenth, uh, you'll be able to listen to episodes, I think, 21, 22, and 23, or 20, 21, 22, 23,
Yeah.
I think, um, that are going up on yesterday, on Saturday. So boom, 5 episodes in 2 days. But I'll catch back up. I'll be caught back up,
Yeah.
which will make me feel a lot better
It's
and
like
a
a
lot
whole
of weight off
month.
my shoulders. I know, dude. Isn't that fucking stupid? I feel so shitty about it, but not really. I should feel shittier about it than I do, but it is what it is. And but yeah, those will be going up. And again, happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to the single moms out there who have father figures in their kids' lives. And yeah, just shout out to the dads out there that are being impactful and being there for their kids. You know,
Yes.
you are a necessary, as Jordan Peterson puts it, it's not okay to be a man or a masculine man. It's necessary to be a man and a masculine man.
Yeah.
Masculinity is not toxic, because if it was toxic, and I saw this today, if masculinity was toxic, then kids raised without their fathers would be statistically better off than kids raised with their fathers,
Yeah.
which is obviously not true. Without the dad there, kids are very highly statistically pushed towards the negative.
For sure.
So if you think that it's I can do this by myself, my kid doesn't need a father figure, da 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 da. Whether it even be like a surrogate father figure where it's not like a romantic with you, but a coach, a karate instructor, somebody who's like a male figure in your kids' lives, will be great and much needed and necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, not everybody can do both. It's a very rare instance where a single mom is able to provide both sides.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm sure it's because they've had help,
For sure.
you know. But again, no disrespect no disrespect meant or intended. Um, but yeah, today's Dad's Day.
So yeah, shout out to the
Shout out to the
dads.
dads out there.
Like I said, I'm gonna say Superman quote again. Shout out to Jarrell. It says, "You will carry me inside you all the days of your life. You will make my strength your own, and see my life through your eyes, as your life will be seen through mine. The son becomes the father, and the father becomes the son." So y'all take that with a grain of salt and be the best dad you can be, and appreciate your dad, because most of the time dads try to do their best. I mean, everybody try to do their best, but if they're trying, appreciate that. Like I said
Yeah,
on this thing, even though I don't understand it, y'all probably understand it now, but in the future you will. So
yeah. And dads out there, I mean, if you make a promise, stick to it. Like if you say, "Hey,
sure, that too.
I'm gonna be at the soccer game," be at the fucking soccer game. You know,
Yeah,
oh yeah, we're gonna go to the movies this weekend. Go to the movies that weekend. You know, don't make these like false promises, because every single time that you break it or whatever, um, the kid remembers,
yeah.
and the kid will hold that forever.
Especially at the age of 6, that's usually when kids will start remembering stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
so be careful.
yeah. And as parents, you have between they're born to 7 years old to help mold their personality and their self esteem. After that, it's kind of like they're set,
Yeah.
you know. So do the best you can the first 7 years, then leave. No, I'm just then abandon them. Like at least get to 7, then dip out. But I mean, hopefully by then you're like, I actually like this kid, so I'm gonna stick around. Um, but shout out to the dads out there, and absolutely 100%
It's not
keep your
funny,
promise to.
but that's when my parents split up when I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah, yeah. You're just like, yeah, we did our job. All right, I'm out. I'm out. I'm gonna grab a handful of popcorn shrimp and blow out of there. But yeah, man, understand what your role is as a parent and as a father, and how impactful and necessary that is, and do your best and try. Shout out to the dads that try, like Jor-El said, like Jor-El
Drea.
said.
It's Drea.
But all right, y'all. Peace. Episode 24, all about Father's Day.
We'll throw it with a stud.
Over and done with.